Vive le français! Bonjour chers amis. There is a fly, sorry. Il y a une mouche. I hope that you are doing well. So today I'm going to tell you about the population of France and the cities in France, the cities and the population. So first, the cities. So something that we learn in at school, we learn the main cities. So most of the population of France, come on, this fly is really annoying. Most of the population of France come is in Paris, is in a few big cities. So before you had what we called la centralisation. France was a centralized country. Everything would come from Paris. Paris was like the center, and then it was like a star. Everything was coming from Paris. There was only Paris. Donc Paris, c'est vraiment une ville importante. And then you have the second city, which is Marseille. You have to learn. So there are not so many big cities in France, and most people will go there because this is where you can find a job. So you need to work, you need to go there. Okay. So they are Paris, Lyon, Marseille. They are the biggest cities in France. Paris, Lyon, Marseille. And these cities have more than 2 million people, 2 million inhabitants. Then there are other big cities that's becoming bigger and bigger. One is Bordeaux. Bordeaux is becoming bigger and bigger. Recently, many people are going to Bordeaux. Many Parisians are going to Bordeaux. Paris, Lyon, Marseille, and then Bordeaux. And then in the north, the big city in the north is Lille. So you have to learn all these cities because they are the big cities. Then you have other cities that are a little bit smaller but also big. Toulouse is a big city. Strasbourg, Rennes. But then for the rest, and you will see the other cities in France. Many of these other cities will be like 25,000 people, maybe 50,000 people. It's not big. It's small. 50,000 people. It's really a small city. So why people go to the big cities for the job? Also, some people they like to go in Paris, to live in Paris because you have many activities, you have many things happening over there, as compared to the smaller cities where you have it's the countryside, so you have less things, less cultural activities. Honestly, personally, I don't like living in Paris or in Marseille or in the big cities because it's expensive. It's more expensive. People are stressed out. You have less possibility to buy a home, to have a garden, so everything is more difficult. Most French people want to live in Bordeaux, in Toulouse, in Nantes. Why? Because these are still big cities, they are still big enough, and then it's very nice to be there. It's very nice, you have the quality of life. You have a quality of life. People say un cadre de vie. So most French people want to live there. What else the population of France is not very big. The population of France, 65 million. It's not very big. If you look at the territory, because you have to understand that France is the biggest country in Europe. The biggest country in Europe, and much bigger. I think France is 3 times the size of the UK. 3 times. The territory of France is 3 times. I think France is 2 times as big as Germany. 2 times the size of Germany. So it's much bigger than all the European countries. It's a little bit bigger than Spain. It's a little bit bigger, and then it's a rich territory. Now about the population, there is a big change in the population. You have more and more people who came from Africa, where you had many French-speaking countries. So you have more and more people, maybe more and more black people or African people. And then you have more and more also Asian, but a big part of this population that come, they will go mainly to the big cities. So if you are in Paris, you will see in most of Paris. In Paris, that's where you will see many people who come from other countries. It's like a melting pot in Paris. Many mixed couple. white, black, Asian. You have many mixed people. Okay. So that's what it is. What can I tell you? I have here some figures. I'm looking at the figures. I had a figure that was very interesting the other day. I saw there's 7 million, I think 7 million French people who have the French nationality and who were not born French citizens. So it means they were foreigners who got the French nationality. So 7 million, it's a lot. Then of course there is a big number also of clandestine, people who are illegal migrants. They come here, they don't have any nationality, don't have any paper. We don't know how many. They will work on the black market, and some of them, they will stay there for 10 years. So, and after a while, they will try to get the nationality. They vont demander la naturalisation. And they live in for them it's very difficult because the choices are limited. So they come here, then they try to survive and live there for many years. And you have many. Yeah? And then what else do we have? You have also many students from all over, I think. And among these students, of course, some of them will choose to stay and try. And if you stay in France for a few years, either you get married, either you work, then you will be able to get the long-term visa, 10 years visa, like my wife, that's what she has. And then you can get the French nationality, I think after 5 years or 4 years. So it's not so difficult. Maybe it will change, but it's not so difficult. Okay, bon, voilà. Something very important, there are very few people who are farmers. Only 3% of the French population are farmers, which is really a pity. After the Second World War, maybe you are like 60% of the French people who are working as farmers. Now you have only 3%. In my opinion, it's really the mistake of globalization, pushing people to the big cities, pushing people to Paris, and then you have agriculture intense agriculture with the bigger and bigger field, and using GMO, using pesticide, with Monsanto. I'm really against this. I think you destroy the quality of life, you destroy the life in the countryside, you always have the same species, you're only thinking about making money, the profit. And in the longer run, it really damages the country and it damages people's health. You eat the bread, and the bread is made from 1 or 2 types of wheat, and then you're not good. You cannot digest. You eat the grape, it's the same, and you have pesticide on it. So you have a little bit the choice, but because you have less and less farmers, then you have less and less choice of quality food. And it's also not good for the insect. It's also not good for the birds. So this is the model. This is the growth model. People left and they moved to the big cities. Maybe this will change. I hope it will change in the nearby future. But we'll see. Okay. Bon, à bientôt les amis. À bientôt. Take care.